Welcome to our second podcast. We are with the Campus Radio. I'm with Anastasia and Sabina. They are the founders of Metasouls, which is a startup that helps women to enter and flourish in the Web3 space. Thank you guys for coming in. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Great.
Let's do a little bit of a background. So maybe we start with Anastasia. How did you get into Web3 and what are your projects right now?
Sure. My name is Anastasia. I'm initially coming from Russia and I am a marketeer for many years. I used to be in corporate, working with big brands and international campaigns like Unilever, Adidas, Heineken. And during pandemic, I realized that I want to also develop my own projects. And 1 year ago, I started my digital marketing agency, which is called Social Butter. And Social Butter, social first digital marketing agency, helping businesses and entrepreneurs to build their online presence. And of course, at the beginning of last year, me and Sabina, we started to work on Metasouls, as you said, membership for women who aspire to enter Web3 space, which is super exciting, of course. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell about me. I'm based in Amsterdam and I like to travel the world, and our projects are global, so we work with different countries.
Awesome. And what about you, Sabina?
So my name is Sabina. I'm originally from Azerbaijan and I've been living here in Amsterdam since last December. So it's just 1 year here for me. And I've been immersed mainly in tech startup environment for more than 6 years already, mainly doing business development, maybe B2B go-to-market. And throughout all these years, I have been lucky enough to work on quite a variety of projects: a sci-fi mobile game, a social tech mobile app, also a mindfulness card game. But I have to say that Metasouls is my favorite project, and Anastasia summed it up absolutely perfectly. It has been a great fun working together, but also working in this Web3 community, which is super friendly, super warm, both locally and global.
So you guys are like distributing you are both the founders, but you have different specializations. You are more into marketing, you're more into like operations and logistics.
I think like you can put it that way.
Good combination.
Exactly.
And you were saying that you did this Social Butter agency. What is that exactly? Can you tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So Social Butter is the agency that helps entrepreneurs and businesses to build online presence. For example, if you're an entrepreneur and you need a website, so we can do it for you, or we can create social media strategy for your business. We can also promote you in social media. It's mostly right now Instagram, but also TikTok. And we can do like anything for you related to online presence. Like also, for example, Google promotion or Google ads, stuff like that.
So all over digitalization.
Yeah.
And what did you guys like start with Web3? How did you get into the space?
I think, do you want to start?
Sure. I was always quite a nerdy kid, so the virtual reality was something that I saw when I was just a kid, and I really liked this concept. And I have been following the tech just because of my job. But around 2 years ago, actually, I started working with an American startup who did the metaverse, so the virtual learning environment for children who are neurodivergent. So with ADHD, with autism, on the spectrum. And so that's when I really saw that, all right, Web3 is something beyond crypto, art, all the gaming stuff. It's something that can actually help people and have a lot of applications. So that's how I actually got into the Web3. And yeah, ever since, I just want to spread this knowledge and make sure that people also know that there are a lot of opportunities besides just this NFT hype or something like that.
Okay, so you actually didn't jump in because of this like crypto NFT. It was more from a perspective of like how it can be helpful for people with ADHD. Or can you explain more? I just don't completely understand.
Can have the sort of social influence, because right now I think there is a big prejudice that, all right, Web3 is something for developers or maybe something that you can earn money off, or all this NFT scam and hype. So that's what people think when we say Web3. But actually think about how it can be a very fun educational metaverse, not only for children who are neurodivergent, for everyone. There is a very cool project, for example, right now that lets you learn languages in an immersive environment. And for people who have language barrier, like myself, for example, I'm 1 year here, but I still cannot speak Dutch because I'm afraid that I will make a mistake. But imagine that you put on this virtual reality glasses and you are in Spain and you're talking to a cashier and you're talking in Spanish and they reply to you and you know that it might be embarrassing, but it's not a real person. That's the application that I love. So something where you can have this educational, social, all other types of impact. Of course, I also love gaming, so that is an amazing application. But that's the main point, to show people that there is so much more than just crypto.
Yeah, I like that approach also with the social stuff. And this is really crazy, like that you can
Right?
actually like, is this like actually already implemented?
The language thing.
The language
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
it's called Immerse.
Wow.
I think now you can only study Spanish there,
Yeah.
but they're expanding. I found this project and I was a fan.
That sounds really cool way
Yeah.
to learn Spanish.
Exactly.
Much better than Duolingo.
I think so. It has some theoretical part,
sure,
like
for sure.
Duolingo, but also it has some practical part.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
kind of
exactly.
mix
Because
everything.
you can speak and also like see in real time the reaction, and you don't have to be
Exactly.
afraid of. There's no like social. Oh, what is gonna think? Like my accent
Exactly.
is. But you can
And,
just like practice.
Exactly. And they
Awesome.
raised like 2 million euros. That's for people, for example, and translators who don't think that they can enter Web3 because they don't have development skills. But look, something like that can easily happen.
Exactly. And also the social thing, like for example, the community here in Amsterdam, I think is really good. Like
yeah.
the Web Lab and the Crypto Canal community, they are really putting themselves out there and providing a space for people to come in and stuff like that. And why did you guys start to work together specifically? How did you two meet?
That's actually funny enough. This story is related to the project that is very similar to the project that we are working on at the moment. We were going through some educational program last year, and part of this educational program was a networking platform. So we were able to communicate at the same time, going through the courses and listening to podcasts and masterminds and whatever. And at that moment, for example, it was an interesting year for me because I also started to invest in crypto and I had a lot of questions. And also, beginning of last year, there was a lot of conversations about NFT happening. So we realized that we have mutual interest in there. And then we realized that we are quite complementary in terms of our experience. And then all these puzzles came together.
Awesome. And what was the first project? Was it instantly Metasouls, or did you guys do something else before?
The concept, the vision was pretty much the same. So we wanted a way to onboard women. We knew that we will focus on women to Web3. And I think at the beginning, we were thinking of it of like just an online project. But then Anastasia actually had this idea of making the entry point a little bit easier for people and a little bit more interesting. And so that's how She NFT was born. And maybe you can tell a bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. Because I'm also looking at the situation and the project from the perspective of marketing. So for me, different instruments are designed to serve particular objectives. So one objective is, of course, scale. We want to onboard as many women as possible on Web3. And we have a goal in the next 3 years to onboard at least 10,000 women globally, digitally, but also we need to gain credibility and we need to create a space for people to communicate and to get understanding of how we create opportunities for people to have also offline experiences. So that's why we created a series of events not to miss. That's what we call it, NFT. And we know that there are some points of interest of our audience, which are parts of Web3, let's say metaverse, NFT, digital fashion, some other hypey words like related to gaming, innovations related to AI, etc. So we want to create experiences like events and lead people through all these touch points to understand, for them to understand and show them actually how it works like in real life. Because if you only have online product, it's not going to be possible to gain as much credibility and as much connection with the audience.
Yeah, exactly. There they can have a hands-on experience about how the workings of Web3. And you guys also did an event, right, on the November 26th, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. Yeah,
so how did it go?
That was actually amazing. So one first point, entry point that I was just mentioning was NFTs. We also wanted to reveal a lot of myths about NFTs because a lot of people still associate NFTs with art only and have no idea about the possibilities of NFT utility what can be applied, let's say, in different industries, like pretty much in every industry, to be honest. So we wanted to tell about it. And this event, She NFT, was the, let's say, merge of two very engaging formats. First format was an exhibition. Simply wanted to give the space to female creators to expose their NFT art. It was quite big NFT art exhibition with like more than 100 works and more than 25 creators. This is one story. And the other story was speakers who were telling a lot about how NFT work, how to make NFTs, about different cases related to NFTs, revealing the myth again that NFTs can be applied here and there, and talking about digital fashion as well and application of NFTs in this industry, etc. So all together, because it was on the one hand a lot of education, but a lot of also entertainment, people liked it a lot, and we got so many great reviews. It was crazy. Like people said, oh, we needed it so much, it's so great. Like women also, they have imposter syndrome because top of mind, women are not considered as a tech or Web3 experts for different reasons, and I think it's not really fair. So that's why we did it like She NFT and wanted to look at the situation through the angle of still gender equality, which is in the context of Web3 is still not there.
I see. And you were saying that the NFTs have more utilities than just the art itself. What do you think the biggest utility is, and specifically for your target audience, which is like women who want to enter?
I think there are a lot of applications. So if we look at, again, our target audience, what is our mission? We want to give people opportunity to enter new markets, let's say digital market, right? If you're a designer, let's say, and you see how AI is right now developing, and you might be scared that at some point your profession is going to be not relevant in the, let's say, traditional perception of this word. And then you realize, okay, actually, if I know Web3, I know how to connect with people globally. I know how to use NFTs like unique assets, and I know how to sell my art, let's say. I know how to create, let's say, I don't know, digital fashion, which I've never done before, and I'm a fashion designer, let's say. Or I find someone who has a complementary knowledge, and we create something together which is relevant for different markets. So we give want to give a lot of opportunities also to women to understand that they can apply new technology to their own development in their life and work.
I see. Do you have anything to share on this topic?
The only thing, yes, I actually think that we have to lead by example, of course. I do want to share that this She NFT, it was the kind of this specific experience for both of us. I have never organized events. Anastasia, of course, organized events, but not Web3 in the Netherlands related. All of this is a very specific experience for us, but we still decided to do it, and we were learning basically overnight. But the support from the community and the support from the brands, because we could partner with Amazon Web Services, Heineken, Unstoppable Domains, and a lot of local Dutch communities, including Web3 Lab, Dutch Web3 communities. All of this gave us a lot of belief in that what we are doing is correct and interesting for people. So I think this is also in the theme that, all right, even if you think that you know nothing and you cannot really do it, still try, because there is so much support in the space that you will instantly have like more knowledge and more experience with every day.
Yeah, you can learn a lot.
I did want to share that, because from the outside it can look as if we had it so easy and it was so easy for both of us just to organize it, being calm. But no, it was also a challenge. So don't be afraid to take on such challenges, because it may result in something so beautiful.
I see. And it seems like that you guys also utilize like the offline events for your marketing strategy. What else is in the terms of like systems that you have for marketing? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Again, indeed, we are building connections with our audience via offline events, but we are based in Amsterdam, and right now events are here. And of course, by events, we cannot do a lot of scaling, right? So some people can come, some people, let's say, there's also, let's say, the barrier for some of them to buy the ticket and whatever geographical location, not always accessible for everyone. So the other objective marketing-wise that we have, we want to scale. So via scale, when I say scale, like for me, digital is the perfect way to do it. So that's why we create a membership, a platform, which is basically an educational platform for people to subscribe and to get a lot of different materials, to get an access to masterminds, classes, podcasts, whatever. Everything will be, we're right now working on it, everything will be arranged in a very easy to follow format, because again, there is another stereotype that Web3 materials is very difficult to follow. They're so complicated, not understandable. It is not true. So we want to arrange everything in as easy as Netflix or as easy as TikTok, if you wish. So this is also our distinction point. And this is a way for us to scale. And what is great also is that we can apply it to different marketing or consumer models in different countries. So because it's global, we can sell it to the United States, you can sell it to Russia, you can sell it to Europe, and wherever there is a demand.
And how do you attract consumers, your subscribers? How do they find you?
How do they find us? Different ways. First of all, there are two ways. One is, again, communities, because we build a lot of connections with many different communities. And these communities in Web3, they're still relatively a small audience, so they talk a lot. And if they know about you, like pretty much all Web3 community knows or heard about you, which is spreading the word. They're at the same time very helpful. The other side is, of course, influencers, because if you go to LinkedIn, and you can see that top LinkedIn voices related to Web3. And if you do something really noticeable and really, let's say, how you call it, significant in a way, they notice you, and then you can build a lot of different collaborations. The other side is brands, of course, because brands want to be involved in Web3, like Adidas, Nike, Heineken even, or Amazon, as Sabina already mentioned. And this is the great way to promote your project. And then there are classical ads as well, because people see it, and for them to understand that they actually need it, they need to see it a lot of times. So it's like there is a marketing theory that you need to see some ad for, 5 or 6 times to actually realize that there is something interesting for you. So all this complex, let's say, channel split, a complex of tools that we are using is leading us to the result that we want to get in the end.
And what is the result that you want to get? I know you said that you guys want to enroll 10,000 women in the next 3 years. Yeah. What else is included in the vision for the project?
You said not enough for you?
I'm just curious.
That's quite some already.
Like, why do you want that 10,000, and what do you want to create with all that people in your mastermind? So they all have the knowledge, they are all enrolled in Web3. Is there something beyond, or like during the 3 years that you want to create? Like specific events, or?
I think it's very much also social related and mission related question, right?
Yeah, we will definitely answer about the events, but also about the mission itself. So we basically want to make sure that this awareness is spread because we know that not every woman that will join our platform will become a Web3 expert. And we don't need that actually, because the main point is that starting something right now in Web3 is the same thing as starting a .com startup in the 90s. Only then, let's be honest, women in tech ratio was absolutely brutal. It is slightly better right now. So all of these decisions that are now have been determined for the Web 2, for the social media, for everything that exists now in the online space was made by a very non-diverse crowd. And of course, what we want is an actually diverse crowd. So we don't only want women on there, of course. And because we know that this Web3 thing, it is inevitable. We know it will happen, maybe not in the format that it is right now. Of course, it will evolve, but we will go there. And so the main point that we want to now promote to women is that it's enough to even have a basic understanding or an awareness, or to know how you can develop a certain skill of yours to be inside the space where there might be a lot of money, might be a lot of opportunities, and how to make sure that coming into this new sort of digital era, we actually have a diverse crowd of founders, working professionals. And now is the time to do this, because it will be too late in 10 years or so. So that's why we have I would say that's a big number for the upcoming 3 years. We, of course, do want to make it even higher. And of course, all of these channels that Anastasia mentioned, they are, of course, very helpful at the beginning. But we are convinced that once people actually use our product, they will tell everyone about it, and the word of mouth will start to work.
I see. So you basically want to provide the space for people to come in and become like an expert. Maybe they can also share their own journey, and through that, like giving the knowledge and the information and your own resources, as in like network and your own knowledge, of course, to think this through this empowering the women that join your community.
Absolutely, because we have the whole ecosystem. So we not only have a space for users to, for example, watch these master classes, but we also have a space for mentors to come, to record these courses for them, to have these consultations with them, to have them help their journeys. So perhaps you come in as a student, and then within a few months or years, you are a mentor of ours. And we basically do have this big ecosystem. And we will also have some upcoming events. So I think that is also interesting to mention.
You want to share about that?
Yeah, just maybe a small teaser. I like teasers. So what I mentioned before is that we are going to lead our consumers through the chain of, let's say, touch points or points of interest in the context of Web3. So the first point of interest that we covered this November was NFTs. And the next event that we are planning is going to happen this year. And it's going to be about a virtual fashion or digital fashion, because we did analysis, also had a lot of conversations with people who came to First She NFT. And they said that virtual fashion or digital fashion is a big point of interest for them. So I'm super excited actually for this year, because for this kind of events, you start planning really early. And we also want to involve a lot of big brands, because it's just such a hypey topic right now. I don't like this word hypey, but it's true actually. So it's going to be super exciting indeed.
Yeah, I wanted to say there's a lot of brands involved in that now. Like Adidas, Balenciaga, they all have their NFT collections, and the shoes, Nike. They made, I think, like $2.1 million in their first run, Nike. So it's crazy how much this is getting involved in the Web3. Two big brands, they already see the value of these NFTs, and I think this is great to provide it also for the consumers and the interested people of how they can take part, maybe perhaps launch their own digital brands. And do you also want just pure digital fashion, or do you want to mix the two? As in, okay, here's your digital avatar and it looks like this, but you also get the t-shirt. Yeah.
It's actually a very good question. We had, during the first She NFT event, we had creators who are working on phygital objects. And phygital objects, like when you have twins, basically digital and physical, and they are working super successfully with it because this is a way for people to understand how it works, and also to understand that each item, digital and physical, also has different objectives in different occasions for consumers. So it's rather, I always say, it's not about replacement, digital by physical, or physical by digital, but more about the addition to each other, because you cannot compare it. So I think it's really a cool way also to onboard people, to show that how it can work.
Yeah, definitely, to see the entry points. And anything else do you guys want to share or plug before we jump off?
Well,
Can people find
Web3.
you?
Yeah, please. Yeah, just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly if you want to contact us, for example, it's at hello@metasouls.co. All of our socials are also metasouls.co. And from the socials, you can also find our personal profiles. So even if you need an advice or something, if you don't know how to enter Web3, you can always message us. And if we can start helping with that, why not?
Awesome. All right. So I think that's a good thing to wrap up. Thank you guys for being here. And for the audience, see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.